Welcome back to episode 2 of 220 Takes. Once again, I'm Connor.
I'm Chris.
I'm Evan.
We're back.
As you guys can see, we got
Or
new
here.
or here. We got new mics.
Yep.
Last week, the whole mic setup last week was kind of iffy.
Yeah, we're sorry.
So we decided to splurge a little bit and get some new mics.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you to my uncle and aunt for the Amazon gift card.
Yep.
That really helped.
Shout out.
And
shout
my
out Chris and
$30.
Uncle.
Yep. Shout out. Yep. And Evan.
So without further ado, we got quite a bit of an agenda today.
Yeah.
Let's jump right
Yep.
into
Yep.
how
Whoa.
our records were.
Wait.
After,
Whoa.
Okay.
We got to talk flag football because I wasn't there.
Whoa.
I'm not 100% sure what happened.
Nobody.
I heard
You know,
it-
I know.
We talked about a little bit.
We talked about our flag football league a little bit
You can't
last
just
week.
jump over that.
We don't.
They wanna know.
No, people don't want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They don't want to hear about your
I
three
haven't
picks
heard
you
about
threw.
it.
Oh, come on, man.
3
But
picks?
they don't want to hear about my 2 touchdowns.
All right.
One to
Two
me.
touchdowns? Hey, they shout
course.
my failures, but they whisper my successes.
Who said that one, man?
Me. Yeah, so,
Three
three
picks.
picks. We took an L, unfortunately. It's not totally my fault.
QB2 did have to come in
but
at the end of the game.
a little bit of my fault. I mean, 3 picks is
Man.
nothing to.
So you guys missed me, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Because how many? You guys played 6 people, 6 on 7.
Yeah, we did have 6 on 7, which was unfortunate.
So we got to the game and we only had 5 people.
Yeah,
You can play with a minimum of 4.
which is a bit outlandish. A little
So we had one guy
Weird.
show up late, and then we played basically 6 on 7 for the rest, and it was kind of just a crap show.
Yeah,
It's just
and
not fair.
yeah, we didn't get killed, but we did not win,
Yeah.
and didn't look that great.
Mhm.
But I mean, thought we played well with what we had.
Yeah.
We decided to have a practice today, tighten up the
Yep.
screws a little bit,
Yep.
drop some plays.
Make sure we're on the same
Yeah,
page.
we cooked up some plays that we're gonna throw out on Thursday for our game 2,
Yeah.
and we'll bring an update episode 3 about how that went.
Yeah, we won't go over the plays
Yeah.
because you never know who's listening.
Right.
You know. Like,
Yeah. One of our opponents could be listening. So
Yeah.
So with that out of the way,
Let's-
we got my 3 picks out of the way. But
Hopefully, QB1 plays a little
Yeah,
better
bring it down to
next
2.
time.
I got-
but-
Hopefully the
Trust.
goose egg.
and we got Chris
Trust.
next time, so
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that
Yeah.
I can make some
All
more
right.
of a difference.
So with that out of the way,
Let's
we'll jump here into first. We're gonna go over our records after our week 2 pick 'em.
Yep.
We picked each game last week. If you guys listened, we'll start off with Evan, who had the best record. He went 9-7. 9
You know me.
7.
That's
Good game.
playoff
good.
worthy.
Yeah. Biggest miss I'd say was him saying, Burrowhead was a real thing.
Yeah.
Bengals walking into
I
the Chiefs territory was gonna
Don't believe
win.
that's a thing anymore.
okay, it wasn't like a blowout or
Yeah.
anything.
Well, let's
so.
just say 12
Yeah.
12 man. help the
We
Chiefs.
all had some misses. I mean, I'm gonna say right now that this week was a pretty big week for upsets.
Yep.
A lot of upsets this week, which is why, well, when we get to my record, we'll see. But Chris then
Yeah.
went 7-9.
Yeah, I mean, not
Yeah.
bad for the first time. There were some picks, watching it back, I'm like, why did I say
Mhm.
that?
It definitely is hard, like week 2 for sure, because you don't know a lot about every team. So there's definitely some surprises for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
We'll jump over to me. I went 5-11, which hopefully next week we can improve on that. But
Hard not.
a lot of upsets this week. It was just a tough week to kind of pick them. Like Evan said, after only getting 1 week to kind of review and see how teams play, jumping right into week 2 pick them is tough. But
Yeah.
hopefully next week will be a bit better with the picks.
I mean, I'll probably still have the best record. Not to
We'll
jinx
see.
myself or
Right.
We'll
anything,
see.
but
That's a jinx, right?
well,
there.
we're gonna keep you think we're gonna keep a running tally or just like a week by
We can do
week
both.
type
We can
thing?
do both. We can do
Yeah.
both.
Okay.
All right. So we'll jump now into a little bit of a news section. A little around the league, see what's going on. A couple injuries, a couple benchings,
Benching,
Yep.
news in general.
news in general. So
Just
we'll
some-
jump into there.
Some news around the
Yeah.
league.
First, we'll start off with a couple big injuries. Puka still working on that back injury, I believe it is.
Did they put him on the
after-
IR?
He's on the
He's
IR.
He's
on
on
the
the
IR.
IR.
All right,
Okay.
so hurts my fantasy team a little bit.
Well,
But
Yeah.
so IR is what, minimum 4 weeks, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he'll be on there for a little bit. Christian
McCaffrey.
Christian
McCaffrey, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, don't tell me you didn't know who Christian
Oh,
McCaffrey
man.
was, man.
I don't know. That's on me. That's on me.
And I was going to take him
yeah.
first in fantasy.
All right.
How are they supposed to,
Trust
trust your
credibility.
takes and
right.
your credibility? if you
I don't know. I
yeah.
just saw Christian. I mean, at least I know who Puka is. It's a unique name, but there's quite a bit of Christians.
It's true.
Anyway, so yeah, Christian's injured. McCaffrey, is he on the IR?
McCaffrey's not on the IR.
McCaffrey's not on the IR. I
He
don't.
may have just gotten put
Oh,
on
with
the
that
IR.
with
Should I
the
check?
tendonitis. Yeah, really quickly.
Yeah, check. Move on to the
I'm
next
pulling
one.
up
Let's
All right.
Chris
So
with
as
that.
he checks that, we'll go to the next one. Pacheco injured.
Oh my god,
He's
my
on my
fantasy team.
He's
Right.
also on my fantasy team
Yeah.
in our sleeper league, and I picked up P Ryan, so we'll see
Right,
how he does.
Right. I picked up P Ryan in my other league, but apparently Carson.
Breaking news. They just signed Kareem Hunt.
They did just
the
sign
practice
Kareem Hunt to
squad.
the practice squad.
So who knows? They said they want to bring a
I-
veteran.
I've been told Carson Steele is the better pickup for the Chiefs.
Really?
That's not what I've been told.
Yeah.
Not
But
what
I
I-
also
Who
did pick
give
up
me
P Ryan
news?
though.
Who has
Jordan Love obviously still injured.
Might be back this week.
Yeah.
I would say for sure. I think that Vikings game is for sure his target date, if anything.
Right, division rival. You want to get
Right.
out there and show out.
Which I'm going to.
Right. Oh wow, with your club.
Yeah,
seats?
not to brag.
Flex again.
All right. Keenan Allen. I believe he's just week to week. He's not really anything big, but
Yeah.
Do you think
he surely was missed on Sunday.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you
Yes.
thought
Okay.
if you had any takes on that. You thought he was pretty
Well,
missed.
I mean, me and Chris will get into our Bears takes a little
Okay,
bit, but
all right.
all I'll say is that a veteran presence like
Right.
him was just missed. I know he was on the sideline. He was talking to Caleb a little bit, but
But it's just not the same as being on the field.
right,
Okay.
especially with a talent like him.
And Christian McCaffrey is on the IR.
Oh, he
He's
is?
going through him on the IR.
When do they do that? So does he have to? Is it just after week 4, or if they threw him on week 2, does he have to
Well,
wait till week?
The report
6?
was 3 days ago, so I'm assuming he would have to wait
Yeah.
until week 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then one of the biggest injuries this week happened on Thursday. Tua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prayers up for Tua.
Prayers for Tua.
It sucks watching somebody go down like that, especially
I know.
with a head injury like
And who else but DeMar Hamlin?
that. You didn't
Well,
need
I'm
to say-
did-
not in a bad way, but
Hey,
I
wait.
was making a lot of DeMar comments
I
last
did
week.
say that it was going to be a DeMar Hamlin legacy game,
right.
and
No-
boy
is
did
that
he
considered
he
a legacy game?
he might have a good add that to his legacy. man.
Dude, quarterbacks
No.
need to protect
Right,
themselves.
yeah. Well, I mean that's not entirely DeMar Hamlin's fault. Tua did go head first.
And that's
into
what
the
I'm saying.
chest.
Why is he doing that
Right.
with his past?
At least
well-
his first concussion was not his fault because he just got thrown to the
Yeah, that
ground.
was
But this
bad.
one was bad.
Well, let me ask you guys then, because a lot of people are saying that Tua should retire because of the amount of concussions he's had in his seasons in the NFL and even in college. I think he had a nasty leg injury. Do you guys have an opinion on it? Do you think he should, or what do you think about people saying that he should retire?
I personally think he should retire.
Hang it up.
I think that and look at Andrew Luck. He was
I
taking
know.
hits early in his career. He retired early.
Yep.
I'm sure he doesn't regret it at all.
What's he doing?
I think he's
Does he
just
coach?
I think he's just vibing. Honestly,
I mean, that's the best way
Like,
to do
I
it. But
think
I've
he's
not
just
heard
chilling. I
Andrew
think-
Luck.
And I think Tua should take a page out of Andrew Luck's book
Okay.
and be like, look, like this constant head
Yep.
trauma is not good for me. I don't want to end up, God forbid, somebody like Walter Payton
Yeah.
or some other people that have had like Junior Seau. So I think he should, if he's not already, I think he should significantly consider
Yeah.
hanging it up.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I 100% agree. There was some. Well, first off, he does have a kid and a
Yes.
wife, so you got to think family first.
Right.
Football's
Yeah.
a job.
He's already got
your
money.
family's forever.
He's made some
Well,
money.
that was my other point. I had questions about how his contract, because he just got paid,
Right.
how his contract would be treated if he retired.
So I think Mitch told me, and shout out Mitch.
We
The
didn't
bum.
mention-
The
we did
bum.
make a plan.
Yeah.
He told me that if Tua retired right now, that he would have to forfeit like 100 and I think like 50 something million
So
of his
pretty
contract.
much,
So
like,
like
the
a good
contract.
amount of it. I can't exactly remember the number, but he did say it was like quite a bit. When he looked it up. So yeah, if he did retire, he would lose a lot of that money that he was guaranteed. But I guess it's not if you just retire.
I heard also that if he talks to a doctor though, and I don't know if
Oh, yeah.
and the doctor was like, no, you shouldn't play. Like you can't.
Like if he was cleared to
I
play
think
and then he retired.
gets the guaranteed of like this year or something, and then they can get rid of it. But like if the doctor's like, no, you can play again if you want, but you probably shouldn't. I think he then, like you said,
Yeah.
forfeits the money if he retires.
I thought you want me to.
Yeah. You go
Okay.
ahead. Sorry.
I just thought you were gonna skip over me.
Yeah,
And
my
you
bad.
know.
My bad.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
you
that's
offered
right.
the question. I didn't know if you had any ideas on it.
No, I think that. I think it's valid, like what people are saying, like about him to retire, but like in the end, I don't think it's really right to like for someone to like force someone to do that, and he could just
Play safer.
yeah. I mean, there's definitely
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's stuff you can't like
Control.
avoid or control, but I don't know. I just think it's wrong for anybody to be like, oh, you have to retire now, or you better retire, like, and force them out. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely like that's a Tua decision, and I think both ways are right. Like, you retire, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. You keep playing, and like, you love football. You played football your whole life.
Yep.
I don't necessarily think there's a wrong decision. Obviously, there's a safer decision, but that goes for every like NFL player.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of these players get concussions and all their injuries, and they could totally retire and be fine. But I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with people like saying, like being like, you better retire. You know?
Yeah, that's a good take.
Yeah. Let's jump over to some other news. We really only have one big piece of other news here is that Bryce Young benched from the Panthers. Andy Dalton taking the job.
Red Rocket.
For week 3.
The Red Rocket.
It's back.
I think, I do have a Panthers fan friend, and he has told me he's 100% out on Bryce Young.
I know someone who's a Panthers fan too, and they're like, we're saved.
Could be a bit egregious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his second year. It's like his third offense he's learned.
Right.
And I think he said, he was like, yeah, put Dalton in, let him play a little bit and see if there are any other liabilities on the offense.
Okay.
Because if they start playing good, then it's starting to look like, okay, Bryce Young might have been a problem.
Yeah.
But if Dalton can't do anything, then it's like, okay, let's look at some other possibilities that could be forcing us back, holding us back.
Yeah.
And I think that, this actually might be a good move for them.
And I'm on the train. I think Tom Brady talked about it. A lot of people are talking about it. Like, how the league is now is that you're a top quarterback, you get drafted, you play. I think we need to bring back, sitting for a year. And that's so hard to do because obviously, like the Bears, you draft Caleb because you want him to play right away. But if you didn't, Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith, right? And look at that. Yeah. Like, I just think if you are able to take a year, maybe half a year. What? Oh my God. We got Jordan Love. I mean, that's a good, I hate to say that's a good example too. If you are able to have a quarterback that you can just sit by and learn from and just see it from the sideline, I feel like, maybe Bryce Young has a different chance if he does go somewhere else and has that opportunity.
Right. Evan, any thoughts on the whole Bryce Young situation?
I mean, I think he definitely played his last game as a Panther, in my opinion.
Really?
Wow.
I don't think they're going to – I think they're done with him. Do I think it was the right decision? I don't know. Like, I saw something that Mel Kiper was saying today, and he was like, they bring in a new offensive coordinator this year. I'm not sure, new coach? Is a new head coach?
They do have a new head
coach. And they didn't play him in the preseason at all, I don't think.
Right, no, and my friend has said this though, like the
why?
whole preseason, they didn't play any of their starters
That's
at all.
So strange.
I think it's more of an organization thing, more than I mean, for sure it's a Bryce Young thing, and obviously a lot of people say good things about him of like who he is as a person, but obviously if it doesn't translate to the field and how you're playing, you definitely. I don't blame him, but I also do at the same time. It's just, But being like that number 1 overall pick, he's going to get another shot, whether it's with the Panthers or with another team.
Right.
I know there's been talks about with Tua getting hurt, them picking up him.
That'd be
I think
interesting.
The Mike McDaniels with Bryce Young, kind of how he uplifted like Tua and praised him a lot.
That'd be a good spot for him.
I feel like it would be good. Yeah. He's such a good coach, so. I don't know. It's definitely not. I think he's probably down right now about it, but I don't think it's definitely not his last shot to be an NFL starter for sure. And I wouldn't be that mad about like not having to play for the Panthers. It's the
Yeah.
Panthers.
Collecting that paycheck.
Yeah, like I mean, you look at a guy like Baker, who was a former number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
Not really panning out for the Browns,
Mm-hmm.
getting bounced around a lot. Has finally found a spot in Tampa Bay for him to shine. And I think like you said, if that was his last game with the Panthers, maybe he could bounce around to another place and really shine.
That's why I hope he has that mindset of like, because obviously his confidence is low,
Mm-hmm.
but I hope he's like, okay, like this isn't it for me.
Right.
I can work through this. I may go somewhere else, but I'm just going to keep giving it my all. I hope he has that mental state,
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was about it for our news section
Around the league.
around the league. We'll jump into our thoughts on the Bears and Packers game. Me and Chris probably have a lot more to say about our game than Evan does.
I mean,
about his.
I'm surprised you guys even wore the jersey,
I got
the shirt jersey.
I gotta read
for the
it.
pod.
Yeah. So we'll start here with Evan on his thoughts on the Packers game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Jordan Love didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
We have Malik Willis. I know you guys I was thinking about picking the Packers last week. I ended up not. I should have. And you guys were kind of getting on me for that. And
Maybe that's why I'm 5-11.
yeah. I mean,
It's true.
I could have been 10-6, but I didn't pick the Packers. No, but I mean, I think that Matt LaFleur is one of the best coaches in the league, and I think he, you have to trust his scheme and what he's going to draw up. He kind of didn't. We knew they were going to run the ball, obviously. Malik Willis, he's been there for 3 weeks, and praise Matt LaFleur for that, because getting a guy that's only been there that long, that you traded a 7th-round pick for, he was probably happy to get out of the Titans organization. That's
like little success.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
They didn't really give him a whole lot of chances, and so I think he can do more than what we saw on Sunday. But I just thought it was an excellent game plan, and not only that, the players, you can scheme up something, but the players got to go out and do it. So I think they did everything. They still left a little bit out there, but I don't know. I think the road ahead is looking good if Jordan Love can get back maybe next game or versus the Vikings. But I don't know. I was happy with what I saw, and I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. But hey, I mean, Malik Willis. Yeah, I mean, Malik Willis went 12 for 14, like 122 yards, threw his first NFL touchdown pass.
Of course.
Great to see you, honestly.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
I mean,
it was a good throw.
Still waiting for Caleb to do that.
Yeah, it was a crazy throw though.
And
no glaze, but yeah.
The defense looked good. I mean, Anthony Richardson basically did nothing versus them.
Disappeared.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll get more into that later.
Yes. I loved how the defense looked. But yeah, I mean, overall, I was happy with it. There's not a whole lot to say. I mean, it was a boring game.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. The
Now
Bears.
Who wants to
let's
go
start.
first?
I'll go first.
Guys, there's a lot to unravel here.
Let's start with.
And if you want, what I was saying earlier was that,
I'm gonna talk about what you're saying.
I think for the Bears fans, it's
Say it.
it's not good. It's
There
just
we
more
go.
that it's familiar to what you guys have had in the past.
Right.
So I mean, you guys agree with that? Is that how you guys are feeling?
I'll touch on that.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's start with the good.
Good.
Okay.
Defense looked good.
Amazing.
Obviously,
Amazing.
they're
Not as good though as the last
I don't
game.
know though.
Yeah.
But it was the Titans.
Again, but better team.
better team. We did hold them to less points.
Yeah.
So
Stevenson.
yeah, whatever.
Go ahead.
Defense good. So that's
Yeah.
a good thing that
They were the only reason they were in the game.
right.
Just like
And
this
I
week.
said this last week.
Mhm.
Your defense wins championships.
Yeah.
But your defense can't win a championship if your offense can't do anything. And I don't want to throw any shade to Caleb, right?
Why not?
Caleb played
Second game.
it's a second game. He played the best he could with the hand that he was dealt this game. Let me just the O-line was terrible.
Were they out there? Were they out
It
there?
literally there was a couple plays where DeAndre Swift ran.
Yeah.
And I saw this on Twitter or whatever. Somebody zoomed in on Nate Davis,
I saw
looking
that.
around looking for who to block, and that happened multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Like Darnell Wright getting he got burned off the
Yep.
side and then looked like he was moving in slow mo behind him, and then fucking the guy just dives on Caleb. We can't win games like this if the O line is just pretty much non-existent. And then we jump to Matt Eberflus, who
Play calls.
He might be a problem. Not even the play calls because
he calls
Shane
defense.
Waldron
He calls
calls.
defense.
Well,
He
first
calls
of all, let's also get into the play calls. I mean, I don't want to blame everything on the play calling, but like Shane Waldron, they cut to him on the sideline.
What happened?
He was shaking while he was holding the play sheet, calling a play.
Might as well been holding.
We're
like
getting nervous,
a
man. Like what the hell? What the hell?
That?
And then and then we jumped to Eberflus. What are we challenging, bro?
Yeah.
Like we throw 2 challenges that made absolutely no sense.
No.
I mean, he was looking at the board. He saw the Kyler Gordon interception. He saw
crowd
the ball
cheers.
hit the ground. And he's like, you know what? Let me challenge this. Like, and I don't even remember what the other
Then
challenge
he doubled
was.
down. It was
dumb.
what was it?
We're losing
Some
timeouts.
sort of catch.
We're losing timeouts.
Losing.
I mean, you're losing
respect.
aura. You're losing
Yeah,
aura.
is
You're
a
losing respect.
Perfect way to describe it.
It's just not a good look.
Suddenly that
To throw
haircut and that beard,
Yeah.
it doesn't look as good.
To throw 2 challenges and then just lose both of them, you're looking like it's just.
Yeah.
All I can say now is on to Indy.
On
to Indy.
We have a good stretch.
We do have a good stretch. We have
Indy.
Indy.
I know we have the Rams.
We have
I don't
Indy,
know who's in the
Rams,
middle of that.
Carolina,
That's right.
Jacksonville, bye. So
We could potentially be going into the bye 6-1.
yes, I don't think we
Not
will.
going to.
But as long as Caleb can step it up, as long as the O-line can step it up, I personally think Ryan Poole should make a move.
Mhm.
I think, and like you said, 6-1 might be a bit egregious.
Yeah.
But
that's
I
just
I think
my
Carolina should be a win.
I don't even want to
LA, hopefully LA will be a win. They didn't look too good last against the Cardinals. I'm going to the Rams game, the Bears Rams game. So whoop whoop. Indy, I think will be a good game. They didn't look too good against the Packers, so and
the Bears got a good defense.
Bears like we said last week. Bears got that good defense. So.
Yeah.
I think the
like
Bears
that
can kind of hold Anthony Richardson to what he did against the Packers, which would be a good sign. As long as the offense can step it up.
Well, yeah, so on to me now. I mean, you obviously talked about all the things I was going to talk about. Defense looked great, O-line non-existent. Receivers were getting frustrated.
That is true.
And I hate seeing that. DJ Moore had the same reaction, I think, as all of us at home. Took his helmet off, just let out a big sigh. And no one likes to see that.
Yeah.
We did just sign him a big contract, but, he could easily be like, hey, I want to get traded.
Yeah. I don't think he will do that. There was a clip of him walking the sideline, and he mouthed something to Tyson Bagent.
Okay.
I don't know what he said. I think he said
be-
something like you should be out there or something like that. But
That'd be
that's
great.
a bit. TJ, I mean, come on a little bit. Let's relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Roquan Smith getting punched too?
Roshan Johnson.
Roshan. Sorry,
Yeah,
no.
so,
Bro caught a stray.
We got a skirmish on the sideline. Guy
No
gets
flag.
up, just punches Roshan Johnson right in the face. No flag.
Caleb gets hit out of bounds all the time.
The refs hate us. Refs hate us.
That's true.
And I do want to say this. No, we didn't touch up on this, but I feel
go
like
ahead.
there was a ball. They were in the red zone. I feel like that Rome should have came down with.
Yep, I can see
Like
it.
it just went right through his hands, and
Caleb had to put it a little higher.
Yeah, and maybe he didn't need to put it that high.
But you're getting two hands on it.
You're getting 2 hands on it, and we're drafting you out of college as a guy that
Yeah.
is known for getting those balls. Pause. But I feel like you should be coming down with something like that.
Yeah.
But after all this, on to Indy.
Are you still high on Caleb Williams? Like you think
Yes.
that he'll
I'll
end
talk
up
about
being
that,
good,
yes.
and if it does continue, he does continue to play like he is. Like how much longer do you put it on the O line, or how much longer do you start to get worried and you're kind of out on him?
Here's my main takeaway about Caleb. It did not look great. Well, like we said, it's his second week, but we've heard, I know Hard Knocks, is scripted in that, but we've been told, we've heard that Caleb is not someone who's going to take this loss lightly, that he's just going to go on to next practice. He is going to go in there with lots of questions. He's going in there and watching film. He is wanting to learn. No one likes sitting with the losses. He claims he's a winner. I think that Caleb Williams will learn from this.
Yes.
I think he will grow from this, and that is why I will not
Yes.
give up. Last year with
Well
Justin,
said.
thank you. Last year with Justin Fields, obviously, dude wants to win all the same qualities, but I just felt like there was a weird tension of just either him, I wouldn't say giving up, but it's just like we were kind of in this weird spot. But with with Caleb, I am confident
Yes.
that it can only go up from here.
Mhm.
Hey, Evan said familiar. I'm okay with familiar as long as we change that.
Right.
We had the preseason where we're 3-0. It wasn't familiar. Now we're back down into this down territory. It can really only go up.
Are you, I mean, I guess you don't have to answer it, but like at what point, or do you not think it's going to get to that point?
I mean, I think we'll know when we get there.
Yeah.
Like as of right now, I can't say I will lose faith because I feel like that's not fair. And obviously I don't want to be like, well, we're doomed again.
But like if he does, like what week, like a week or like a what?
I mean,
I don't even know.
I can't even answer
I think it
that.
depends on if the O-line improves,
Yeah.
if you make a trade. But if he's throwing multiple picks, because some of his interceptions were a bit questionable,
Yeah.
and I do worry. The one thing they were saying out of college is that he likes to hit the home run plays, and I kind of saw some of that again, but you just don't know if it was like frustration from the play calls where he's like, come on, like I'm going to throw this up because we're calling screens or whatever. But yeah, if he keeps making plays like that, then 5 weeks, man. I don't know.
I mean, building off of that, I mean, he threw the ball 37 times,
Yeah.
and he was pressured on 36 of them. Like, I feel like that's no good for any quarterback to deal with, even if you're a veteran, even if you're, a rookie. So I feel like as long as next week, the pressure's kind of, dwindle down a little bit, I think we'll be able to see him cool and calm a little bit in the pocket, and hopefully he'll be able to bring home that first touchdown pass.
Over under
With a win.
week 3, or I guess
I think he throws one next week.
A touchdown?
I think he throws
I
a touchdown.
also think he'll throw one. I think this loss is gonna be eating at him a little bit. He's gonna want to go out there. He's gonna get fired up. I think. Quote me on this.
Uh-oh.
This game.
Quote you on it?
You can quote me on this. This game against Indy will be Caleb Williams' coming out party. He's gonna go crazy.
And we're gonna check back on that next week.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, quote me on that.
All right.
Let's go, Chris. We're locked in.
Come on, man.
All right, you want to move on to the next?
Yeah, we'll move on here to our Capper Glazer hater. That's our segment.
It's our favorite section.
We will go over who we picked last week and see kind of how we did there a little bit, and then we'll go over to our picks for this week.
Okay.
So I'll start. Last week my capper was Amon-Ra. He showed out this week. He did good against a good Bucs team.
And in case people forgot, do you want to explain Capper Glazer hater?
So Capper, a Capper pick is somebody that was supposed to do good going into this week or did really good last week, and you're like, I don't think they're gonna do that good again. Hater is just somebody we're hating on. Somebody that did good that you don't think will do good again.
Just continuous hate.
And then a Glazer is somebody that did good that you think is going to do good again.
Yep.
Right. So my capper was Amon-Ra, which last week was a good pick, right? He was projected, he was supposed to like be, this top 5 receiver in the league, and he goes out there and doesn't do really that good against the Rams.
Yeah.
This week shows out against the Bucs. So shout out Amon-Ra for proving me wrong. And helping out those fantasy owners. He's not on my team, but helping out the fantasy owners. My hater last week, now this is probably a bit of a cop-out pick, but my hater was Jaden Reed. He performed really well against the Eagles, and I'm like, with Jordan Love hurt and Malik Willis in there, don't think they will. I don't think he'll get that. At least this week, he won't get that level again, at least until Jordan Love comes back. And he didn't. I don't know exactly how he did, but he didn't do good.
Remember?
Evan touched up on this one when they talked about the Packers game, but they didn't really throw the ball. They ran it a lot.
Yeah, he got a couple rushes,
Yeah.
Which he did fine on. I think maybe like 22, 30 yards rushing and maybe one pass. I can't remember. But, yeah, I mean, he didn't have like a crazy game. Like, it's a good pick. I mean, you could say that, it wasn't –
cop-out. It was a bit of a cop-out pick.
But it was still good.
Yeah. And my Glazer was Jaden Daniels. He did really good last week, and I mean, I know he played the Giants this week, but at least he got his first win. Good for him.
I gotta say something about that Commanders-Giants game. Are we gonna touch about it at all later on?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I want to apologize to everyone who was forced to watch that game.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess it was close, but like, I'm sorry. And if you chose to watch that.
I'm just worried for when the Giants-Panthers game happens.
Oh,
in Germany, yeah.
Sorry, Germany.
Yeah. Sorry we're sending that one your way, but
But not really.
yeah, not really.
Okay.
Snooze fest.
Yeah. Chris, what about you? How did your Capper Hater Glazer pan out?
I'm pretty sure for my capper I chose Amari Cooper because he's on my fantasy team. And well, let's just say he failed me again. He made me very disappointed. I think he had less points than the previous week.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I mean I might have to make a move, but yeah, it's just not cutting it,
Right. Well, I mean, you can maybe blame that on Deshaun.
Yeah. But oh man.
He does not look good.
Yeah, no.
I looked at his targets at one point. It was like 5 targets, 0 catches. Like
But how good were those throws, though?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Yeah, so I don't know. My Glazer. No, did you do hater next?
I did Capper Hater.
Okay.
Glazer.
My
Technically, it's Capper Glazer.
Okay,
hater.
my bad, man.
That's okay.
My bad.
My hater was J.K. Dobbins. I know what everyone's thinking. He played great again, whatever. But he had less carries than Gus Edwards. Okay, wait. So does that really back up my point?
No,
Not
it doesn't, because
really.
That means he's getting more with his
I'm
carries.
just saying. Well, yeah, dude did a flip into the end zone, looking faster than he ever looked on the Ravens. I don't know, but yeah, I mean,
You said he was slow, I think,
Yeah,
last
you
week.
did.
yeah, and he took that personally.
Yeah, he must have heard the episode.
I'm gonna keep. No, I can't keep hating on him, but I will say eventually we'll come back down to earth, or maybe I'll be wrong. And J.K. Dobbins, you can send me a message. I will answer very fast. No glaze.
Cloud chaser.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, Glazer. I chose. I know I kind of said Baker, but then I switched to Josh Allen. Josh Allen, he played pretty well.
I mean,
not fantasy-wise, he didn't play good. I think
Fantasy-wise,
he
no.
dropped 9 points.
Yeah, it can.
But,
It's also my fantasy team. He didn't turn the ball over. I don't think. But
They just ran the ball.
They did
out.
just run
he
it.
played his role, and I think that in itself is very good.
That was a snooze fest, too, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Both running backs on either team did good. I mean, Tua did get hurt, so that was like basically
Thompson, my
it
boy,
wasn't the
did well.
highlight. I
No.
won't say highlight, but like it was definitely the most memorable
Right,
moment
yeah,
from that night.
Yeah.
Okay, but going into this week, my captain.
No.
We didn't say that yet?
No.
Oh, my bad. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Let
Go ahead,
Evan
Evan, go
Evan
ahead.
run through his
Okay,
how
go
his
ahead.
week one's
And then we'll go back
Right.
there. My week week 1 capper, right? Yeah. My capper was Marvin Harrison. And boy, did he not disappoint this week
Yep.
for the fantasy team.
That is crazy.
Right off the bat, had touchdown. I think he 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
Two
in the first
touchdowns,
quarter.
and he had like 130 yards.
2 touchdowns on his first 2 catches, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He only had like 4 catches.
Yeah. all he
One
needed.
was like a bomb down the field, and one was just like amazing catch, like toe tap. So, he was capping the first week,
Yeah, I
think
but
that's a great
second week he
example.
definitely made up for it, and my fantasy team is very happy.
Benefited.
My Glazer was Baker Mayfield, and I mean I thought he played pretty good this week. I mean I don't necessarily think he played bad. I mean
It's hard to top his week.
they got the
Yeah.
win versus a hard Lions team, a good defense, and I think he definitely played fine. Like
Bucks are definitely a very sleeper
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, you might not even say sleeper.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say contender, but they're a solid playoff team.
I had a sneaky Baker Mayfield pickup in fantasy this week, and
Smart.
helped me out a lot.
Smart.
and then my hater was Amari Cooper. I played Chris last week in fantasy, and I saw that he did terrible. And then I heard about the whole situation with Watson, and I was like,
No comment.
and he played terrible. Watson played terrible too, and I was just like, that adds together. Amari Cooper's not gonna have another good week, and I mean, he played bad again. So I mean, I think I was pretty spot on with mine. I
It's a
thought.
good hate.
So yeah, I mean,
Before we jump into our next cap or week
2.
3, week 2.
Oh, 3, yeah.
Well, I guess because we're predicting. I guess
yeah.
our next cap or Glazer hater. Did anybody have any surprises this week?
The Raiders.
Raiders, yes.
I was gonna say Alvin Kamara.
I was gonna say the Saints in general. I
Yeah.
mean, I know we talked about this last week
That too.
that the Saints maybe just had a fluke game against the Panthers.
Right.
But then we
Wow.
walk into Dallas and drop 40 on their head.
And Derek Carr's still on my bench. In fantasy.
Yeah, well, that's on you.
I know. But yeah.
that's just an insane. Do we think they'll keep it up? I mean, we said last week it was a fluke,
I want to say yes.
but I think that they'll be able to keep this up.
The Derek Carr resurgence is something I'm
Yeah.
here for. And I'm ready to say he's legit, which isn't a good thing knowing what I said about J.K. Dobbins. Derek Carr might throw 3 picks next week. But I'm confident on him.
I don't know. I think they're. I really have I don't know. I don't have an opinion on the Saints.
Right.
Like I don't really
It's
know what to
weird.
think of them. It's just.
It's just odd.
I've never
I've
never thought about Derek Carr as like a premier quarterback in the league. Like I've always thought that he's a veteran.
He's all right, right?
Yeah, like he's all right. He's a starter for most teams, but I don't really know. I don't know what to think. I did like that Alvin Kamara performance, but yeah, I mean, as far as the Raiders goes,
Right.
how about Gardner having a game for himself, a bounce back game
Yeah,
from
I
week
like
1?
it.
Brock Bowers solidifying himself as
Yep.
one of the best tight ends in the league.
Once again, too,
Rookie.
Devontae Adams, he was on my fantasy team. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, I think.
It's a vintage Devontae.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good game. And I think Gardner is second in the league right now for passing yards through week 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
What an interesting year so
I know.
far.
First, the Ravens,
Yeah.
the
who like
Ravens doing?
barely lost to the Chiefs.
Right.
They seem like the Ravens have no identity. Like they don't seem like they know. Now they give Derrick
Yeah.
Henry more touches. Now Mark Andrews is back.
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely, all this stuff. It's like, you know, I know we say we have a lot of friends at different teams, but I do have a very good friend who's a Ravens fan, and he's talking about firing Harbaugh.
Wow.
Is that a little premature?
That's a little
maybe?
That might be a bit premature.
But he's saying this isn't looking like the team, obviously, that they expect.
I mean, I had Ravens. Well, last week I picked Ravens to be in my Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I chose the Lions, which I'd like to apologize for. But yeah, it's just a weird week, weird season so far.
Yeah. I know we kind of jumped into that a little bit.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. Now
Yeah.
we'll jump into our week's Capper Glazer hater. We'll start
Yes.
with the Capper.
Okay.
We'll go around each talk about it a little bit. My Capper this week, I know you literally just touched on this, but my Capper this week was Isaiah Likely.
Okay.
We have a huge performance against the Chiefs, and then we go out here against, I hate to say this, I mean, they lost, but like a inferior opponent against the Raiders. I mean, you drop 30 fantasy points against the reigning Super Bowl champs, and then you go out against the Raiders and do nothing? Like, it's just, and I guess you could possibly blame that on maybe Harbaugh being like, oh, let's get Mark Andrews in there instead, but like, I mean, why are we like benching him? Not like benching him, but like why are we not using him after that big performance, right? Like I just think that that's not that good of an idea if you're just going to be like drop 30 points and then
Disappear,
just switch back to
almost.
Mark Andrews. Like
Yeah.
it's just interesting play.
Okay. My Capper, you can roll your eyes. I put Caleb Williams. And I already gave my big speech about it, so I don't want to say I just chose this because it's a Bears fan. I'm a Bears fan, but I kind of gave you the speech where I just think he's going. I won't repeat myself, but I just feel like he can really only go up, and that's how I feel about it.
The best thing about hitting rock bottom is that the only way up,
That's
only way
what's
out
up.
is up.
That's what's up.
So I wouldn't say Caleb was at rock bottom just yet.
No, very.
But as of right now, going up is
It's what I expect him
Right,
to do.
right.
That's why we drafted him.
right.
All right, for my Capper, I had Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, I was locked in on the Bears-Packers, or it's not the Bears-Packers, the Colts-Packers game. And Anthony Richardson, he was hyped up, week 1 with having that huge pass, how far he can throw it, how he can use his legs to really change the game. And you just didn't see that versus the Packers. He didn't look like he looked like a rookie for sure. Like I know he's not a rookie, but he got.
I mean, you kind of can.
Yeah.
He only played like 3 games last year,
Right.
so I feel
Yeah.
like you kind of can say he's a rookie.
I mean, he just did not look good, and he had 3 interceptions. The only time he played well was in like garbage time when the Packers were playing, like
Deep
a
zone,
soft
Yeah.
defense, and he's just. I do think that he will bounce back, so that's why I put him at Capper. He's projected to have a good game and didn't, but yeah, I think he'll bounce back next week.
I like
All right.
that.
we'll do a little snake. You start with your
Okay.
Okay.
Glazer.
My Glazer, I had Alvin Kamara. I know he's been a good running back in the league for a while, but I mean he's had some injuries, and I just think that he's a key part to why the Saints are playing so good.
agree.
And he had 4 touchdowns. Like, come on. You
Yeah,
can't
come
really
on,
argue
bro.
with that. 3 on the ground, one receiving, and he's just I just think he's a big reason why they blew up the Cowboys so bad. And I think he's going to continue to play like that, especially if the Saints want to continue to win like they have been. So, I mean, that's why I picked him.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Mine, I said I'm going to change it up. I'm going defense, and I said Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah, good pick.
Come on.
First defensive pick.
Yeah.
First defensive pick. I had the game on. Me and Connor were watching Bucks Lions. I watched that man get 4.5 sacks, not only in the first half, but basically in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
What did he finish with 7?
What?
I think he finished with 7 sacks on the day, which is
On the day?
I
No,
think
I'm
he
pretty sure he
finished-
ended with 4.5.
oh.
Even though they lost?
Even though they lost. Dare I say he was basically keeping them in the game. Because, like, the Bucks were not adjusting. And maybe, like, I don't know what they're doing, but I just watched this guy basically how the Bears O-line was going. He just ran right by them and sacked Baker. Baker was doing all he can, but that man single-handedly destroyed the Bucks O-line.
He did finish with 4.5.
Yeah. So, I mean, in
I
the
don't know where I got
half,
7 from.
Yeah, I mean, if he got 7, then would have glazed
Come
it on the board.
on.
But, 4.5 in the first half is just crazy.
Yeah, that is.
So, I'll glaze him for that.
That's a good pick. Good
Yeah.
pick. He had a monster day, like you said. We
Yeah.
watched the game. So I'm honestly surprised the Lions lost.
I know. My Super Bowl team.
But, I mean, the Bucks,
Baker,
they're
sleeper, man.
Glazing on Baker?
Yeah.
Speaking of the Bucks,
Okay.
my Glazers, Chris Godwin.
Nice.
He had
Slot guy.
an absolute performance last game against the Lions.
You think? Well, continue.
I believe we were watching me and Chris watching the game.
Mhm.
I know we said that before, but Baker, I think he went started off 6 for 6 or something, or his first 6 passes went to Chris Godwin and they were all completions or something like that.
Big games.
He just loved throwing to Chris Godwin that game. I think that will continue, even though they have Mike Evans on the team.
Right.
He'll get 1,000 yards every year pretty much. That's pretty much automatic for him.
They could both get 1,000.
Yeah, but I think this kind of love that Baker was showing Chris Godwin this game will continue to roll over.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, you really think he's going to keep it up? And I know you just answered it, but that was my question.
Yeah, I think a good quarterback knows how to share the love.
Okay.
You look at a guy like Brady; he was getting everybody on his team. And I'm not comparing Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield, but
it kind of sounds like you are.
Maybe at some point
maybe I
we have
should.
that discussion.
And maybe I should be.
But
But guys like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, they knew how to get their playmakers the ball. And I think Baker is a guy that, especially with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans on the same team, I think he'll be able to do that. And that's something I hope Caleb Williams can do with a guy like DJ Moore. And then when Keenan Allen comes back,
maybe
if Rome can turn into
if we're calling plays for that,
right?
We talk
well,
about that. That's enough of that.
Jumping into my hater, I'm hating the Bears O-line.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate them now.
I hate them.
The whole group.
Understandable.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them. I feel like the cart pusher from Jewel could do a better job than some of them that did. I used to play center. I'm not saying I would do better than them, but I feel like if they don't start to shape up, this team's gonna be bad, and I don't want to see that. So I hope that this week in practice they'll be able to do a little bit better, and hopefully they can prove me wrong next Sunday. I hope maybe they'll allow 0 pressures, but maybe we should have traded up for Joe Alt, but.
Joe Alt. Yeah, that's not.
Joe Alt delete.
Instead of Rome?
We'll cross that bridge.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll
Knowing Joe Alt, he probably would have been bad on the Bears too.
Probably.
At this point.
Probably.
Okay.
All right, Chris, who are you hating on?
This might be a little random just because we haven't. I feel like we, as us three, haven't really talked about this guy. But I put Bryce Hall.
Okay.
From the moment I saw fantasy rankings, I never understood why he was the second, third best running back.
Interesting.
And
I personally think that's a bad pick, but
okay. Well,
Braylon Allen did have 2 touchdowns.
I was just gonna say. I looked at the stats this week: 14 carries, 62 yards. Okay, that's pretty good. But for this top 3 running back, that's not great.
True.
He had 7 receptions, 52 yards, and a touchdown. So at this point, man, we're just throwing him the ball.
That sounds good, bro.
That sounds good. But we're talking top. No, then like Evan said, now we're looking at Braylon Allen, who had more yards per rush, 7 carries, 33 yards and a touchdown. Okay, that's more
And a
yards per
receiving
rush.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Then you go in receiving, 2 receptions, 23 yards, and a touchdown. It's more yards per reception too. I mean,
Well, he got less targets.
yeah. So I'm saying he's gonna get more targets, and I think Breece Hall. I'm not gonna say quote me on this because I've been having bad luck with haters, but I just feel like Breece Hall's production is gonna slowly go down.
All right, interesting.
That's a crazy take, but you look at the system now with Rodgers, and it's just like they're throwing the ball. It seems like a lot more. I don't know if you know how Rodgers feels about running the football. I don't know. I guess he's a quarterback, so he doesn't really care about that. But
Oh no, the Packers usually had a really good run game every time.
right, I just feel like
He definitely cares a lot more about like getting certain receivers the ball. Though.
Right, and I feel like Breece Hall's not that person.
Okay.
Yeah. Mark it down. He's going for 100 next week.
Yeah, probably.
Start him in your fantasy game.
Yeah.
Start him.
Bet on Breece Hall this week.
Bet on Breece Hall this week. That should have been mine. Okay, never mind.
My hater, I know I picked him last week, but I have to pick him again this week.
Ooh, repeat.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be trusting him in that system with that quarterback. I mean, I said it all last week. I'm not going to repeat myself a million times.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not. I mean, I'm just going to cut to the chase. It's Amari Cooper. I don't think he's going to have another good week. And
Even if he gets to a better team or a team with like a better QB situation.
Then that would be different.
Okay.
But on the Browns, which he's not going to get traded in the next week.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm just continuing to hate on him.
All right, I think we all had good picks this week, except
Yeah.
Chris maybe a bit skeptical.
Well, I
of
was
that
gonna
Breece Hall
say
pick.
Anthony Richardson for my hater too.
Okay.
Should I?
No.
Week one.
You
Besides that
keep
one
it,
throw.
You keep
Okay,
it. You
fine,
lock him.
fine.
You lock your guy in.
Fine.
This is a new segment we started. We got some people saying that we're all 21. We can all bet.
Yep.
So, some people thought it would be a good idea to throw in some spreads of the week that we like.
We'll give you free money.
Yeah, some props of the week that we like. So we'll jump into that now.
Do you want me to lead that off? I got the games pulled up. You want?
Well, I'll just.
We want to do the props, not
We'll
the
do
props
the
first?
spreads first.
Spreads
Okay,
first.
yeah.
I think we should do the spreads, then the games, and then after the games we can.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
All right. So the first spread that I think is a lock this Thursday. Patriots Jets. The Patriots plus 6.5
Lock
versus
that
the Jets.
in.
I mean, you look at a team that upset the Bengals week 1.
Yep.
Almost lost by 3 in overtime to the
OT.
Seahawks, and then going up against a team that hasn't really. Still figuring it out. Aaron Rodgers back a little bit. Week 3.
Breece Hall's not going to play good.
Right. They lost week 1 against the Niners. The Niners might not even be that. They lost to the Vikings, but and then week 2 against the Titans. I mean, it's the Titans, and I think they only won by a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I think Patriots plus 6.5 is a lock this Thursday against the Jets.
Mark it down.
Next game that I think is a lock. Chargers.
That we think is a lock.
That we think is a lock.
Yeah.
Sorry. Chargers plus 2.5 versus the Steelers. Chargers 2-0, getting points against a Steelers team that almost hasn't even scored a touchdown. I think.
Justin Fields threw one.
Yeah. So I mean,
More than
I
Caleb.
feel like that. The Chargers are going to go in there and steamroll the Steelers.
I did see Justin Herbert was injured though.
Ooh.
I think he got X-rays and they were negative.
Okay.
But he's
He'll
questionable.
play. I mean,
Yeah,
I
obviously he'll play.
Right, and if J.K. Dobbins plays like he's been playing, I think that's going to be a tough game for the Steelers.
I mean, I just think that I do like the Steelers, but I mean, I just think the Chargers are good too, and I think that with Jim Harbaugh being there, I think that's just a lot of I would have picking the Chargers to be a favorite.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why we were like, really, Chargers plus 2.5. So
Right.
that's kind of why we had that. If you want to do the next one.
Well, really quickly though, the Steelers are also in like a Bears situation. Their defense is really good, but their offense is fizzling. So it just, like you just said, it doesn't make sense why the Chargers.
I just checked right now.
It changed?
The Chargers are now plus 1.5.
Oh no!
They're
I would still take it.
I would still take that. They're
Take
still
it.
dogs. I
Write it
think
down.
that's a lock. And the third game that we all think is a lock is the Packers plus 2.5 versus the Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, the Titans aren't that good of a team. The Packers just went and beat the Colts with Malik Willis,
who are a better team than the Titans.
right, as with the backup. Jordan Love might even come back and play.
And that line will probably change if Jordan Love is,
So put it in now.
So put it in now while you can.
Yeah.
But like I even think with Malik Willis, I just think I just think they're even gonna win the game. I don't think that they're even gonna need the 2.5.
That is a crazy line.
Yeah.
So I just think all three of those are good picks. You could put those together, and I don't know what the odds are in that.
Trusting the Packers fan here.
Yeah.
I know I'm a little biased on it, but like even from outside perspective, I don't think you guys think that's crazy at all either.
No, I agree.
Especially with how they played last week against the Colts.
Yeah.
I think Josh Jacobs is gonna have another field day.
I agree.
And the Titans don't have as good of a line either.
Yeah.
So I think that the Packers, they're going to be blitzing a little bit more, and they're going to be able to get off Will Levis, who makes bad decisions. As we've
2 weeks
seen.
in a row.
I wonder if we're gonna get another meme-worthy picture of Will Levis this week.
I hope.
All right, let's jump into our week 3 picks, and then after this, we'll give you a couple prop bets that we like, and then that'll be it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
First off, we got Patriots Jets. I'll go first. Like we said, I mean the Patriots. That it's a good line. Minus 6.5 for the Jets. I do think the Jets. I think they're just going to keep getting more and more comfortable with Aaron Rodgers being back, and he's going to start to play better. I got the Jets. I mean, they got a good defense. Rodgers is going to be Rodgers. He's going to sling it. And they got 2 good running backs, like Chris was kind of talking about.
I don't think I said that. One good running back, Braylon Allen.
So yeah, I got Jets.
Okay. On to me. I was really just thinking about this now, but honestly, I'm gonna go to the Jets. I think with the Jets defense, this might be the first time we see the Patriots get uncomfortable. We may see Jacoby Brissett throw some interceptions, maybe some turnovers, whether it's fumbles in that. I think this is the first time we'll see the Jets defense step up and make the Patriots uncomfortable. So Jets.
I'm going with the Patriots.
And this is why
the Dolphins pick on Thursday
right,
last week.
And
this could be why I'm 5-11, but I think that I just think that they'll keep this momentum going.
I think they lost last week.
Right, no, in overtime by 3.
That's true.
And I just feel like
Whatever.
and they upset the Bengals week 1. I think they're gonna go into New York, East Rutherford, New Jersey, and I think they're gonna be able to. I think Jacoby's gonna go off.
If anything, you're gonna take the plus 6.5 spread.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm taking the plus 6.5, but I do think they can win this game outright, and that's why I'm picking the Patriots.
Packers Titans. Can we all say we're gonna pick the Packers because we just said that before? Moving on. Chargers Steelers. I got minus. Did you say minus 1.5? Because I got -1 right now.
For the Chargers +1.
But that's on ESPN Bet, so I don't know where you were.
I was on
looking.
FanDuel. I was looking.
So it might be a little different, but on here they got Pitt -1.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it will be a close game, but I just think that this is the week the Steelers won't get it done.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got Chargers.
I got Chargers too. I'm a big Justin Herbert guy, and people are starting to hate on him a little bit. So I kind of hope he just goes off and silences the Steelers.
I'm also picking the Chargers. I think that's just going to be too much for the Steelers.
Texans Vikings. Houston's favored -2.5 is a spread. So Connor, you start this one.
This is a bit of a tough one. I'm pretty sure we all picked against the Vikings last week.
Yes, we did.
And I don't know if we'll do that again this week, but I'm gonna pick the Texans, but I think this game could go either way.
Okay.
But I'm picking the Texans. I think the Vikings will keep it close.
Okay. I'm going Vikings.
Ooh.
I am
okay.
sold on Sam Darnold. Don't come back to this clip if he plays bad. I know he has a trend of playing good the first 2 weeks, then messing up. But I just feel like were they home for the 49ers game?
Yeah, they were home last week.
Okay. Still.
And they're home for this one too.
They're home? Well, I mean, same thing then.
Yeah.
Their defense, they got 49ers players telling them, good defensive scheme. Brock Purdy, I think, said that. Don't quote me on that. No, I'm pretty sure he did. But if he didn't, who cares? But I just feel like, where is this coming from? Sam Darnold's playing good. Your defense is playing good. Why not carry on that momentum? and let's just beat the next team up. So I'm going Vikings.
I'm going to go Texans. Just not sold on the Vikings. I mean, it could be a bias thing because they're in the division, and I'm not necessarily a big fan of them. But I don't know. I'm not sold on the Vikings. Sam Darnold.
Sold.
I mean, I like their running back and Aaron Jones.
And, it also depends. I know Jetta's left the game last week with a bit of injury.
Depends on that too, for sure.
So I do think he'll play, but if he doesn't play, it'll be a much different game. But I feel I think he'll play.
I'm gonna go Texans though.
Okay.
Texans.
Okay.
Eagles Saints should be a good one.
Ooh.
Are we riding with the Saints still?
I'm gonna ride with the Saints.
I will ride with the Saints.
The Eagles coming off a tough loss against the Falcons.
Yeah.
A
Falcons team we didn't think was good at all.
And I'm gonna guess here the Saints are gonna be home.
Saints are home.
Yeah, I think the Saints are gonna show out.
I am gonna go with the Saints too. I don't know what you're thinking.
Eagles got a good defense though. They got a good defense.
People say that about the Cowboys.
I'm not gonna lie though, but they got cut up by the Falcons on that last drive. Last drive.
It did seem
Kirko woke up dripping like this.
It did seem like that. You know, I'm gonna roll with the boys here. I'm gonna go Saints.
Let's go. Right. Sweet.
We got Broncos at the Buccaneers.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we know where we're going with this one.
We're riding with Baker.
We're riding with Baker.
Riding with Baker. I mean, that's not.
Yeah,
I mean, we're probably gonna be looking back at this next week and be like,
Bo Nick's throwing for like 400 yards or something.
I'd be happy.
Well, we're riding with Baker this week.
Yep.
Don't let us down.
Next up, we got a snooze fest.
Uh-oh.
The Giants versus
anybody.
The Browns.
Ooh.
They got the Browns -6.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna pick the Giants.
Hang on. That's not crazy.
I'm gonna pick the Giants. I think Browns are not looking good at all. I think the Giants, they have playmakers. They have Devin Singletary played pretty good against the Commanders. And I think that Malik Neighbors played really good against the Commanders. Yeah. I think if Daniel Jones, and this is going to be a tough ask for him, but I think if he could get the ball to them, I think they can win.
Okay.
Shout out him for getting Kay Adams.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
Dude.
I got no words for that. I know I just made a big kind of swing, I'm going to choose the Giants, but I'm choosing the Browns. You got to remember the Browns have a great defense still.
That is true.
You're telling me Myles Garrett isn't
going to rip. This is why I'm 5-11, bro.
He isn't going to rip Daniel Jones.
But why are you picking the Giants,
you
man?
Can't change. Myles Garrett might have an Aiden Hutchinson type game, and I just think Daniel Jones is going to return to Daniel Jones form.
Man, I'm torn.
He's just been in the whole season.
K. Adams might break up with him because of this game, is what I'm trying to say.
This is just rumors here, all right?
We're not.
Hey, if K. Adams wants to come on and clear the rumors.
Yeah. K.
Come on. Yeah, we'd be happy to have her on.
Yeah.
She can sit right there.
Yeah, right here. This seat's open for guests.
I'm torn on this one. I don't know.
No one's watching it though. Let's be honest.
I said so many bad things about the Browns.
I know.
And I just think I have to back that up by picking the Giants.
Wow.
Even though
Ride with me.
I don't like them, I like Malik Neighbors.
Me too.
Whoa. And think he's going to have a good game. I don't mind Devin Singletary as their running back. Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones' legacy game. I said it about DeMar Hamlin. I'm saying it about Daniel Jones.
All right.
All right, Bears at Colts.
I'm riding the Bears.
I'm riding the Bears too.
Some would say it's biased.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah,
we could be biased.
But it's not a bad pick with the Bears. How the Bears defense.
Yeah, and especially how the Colts.
And you did say that. You did say that Caleb Williams was gonna have a good game.
I did say that. I did say, quote me on that. That Caleb Williams will have a good game on.
We might be in tears the next time you see your heroes.
Yeah, we actually. Me and Chris might not be on the pod next week.
Yeah,
depending on what happens.
Spread's only -1.
I like that.
So,
I might need to add that to the spread picks. But
you going Bears too?
I'm going Bears too.
All right.
I don't care.
All right. I gotta go Colts.
Yeah, whatever.
After last week,
after we rode with you on the Packers,
come
you're
on.
gonna ditch
After
us.
last week, you really don't.
But I have to back myself up because I said that
Anthony
Richardson was capping, and I think he's gonna. I said he was gonna bounce back. He was gonna bounce back.
Not against the Bears defense, though. That's for sure.
That's facts.
I did say that he could have a bad game versus the Bears, but I'm kind of whatever. I'm contradicting myself a little bit, but
it's okay.
I'm going Colts. Panthers, Raiders. I mean, come on
Raiders.
now.
Gosh.
Is Andy Dalton really going to change that much?
There's
Is
no
he
way.
really going to change the
I
team
want to
that
say he
much?
does, but not enough to pick the Panthers. Are we all
No.
going
Yeah.
Raiders all around?
Raiders.
Okay.
Raiders.
Hopefully Devontae has another good game.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Seahawks.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Tua.
Tua's out. I gotta go Seahawks.
Actually,
No.
they just picked up Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley is
That's a Pro Bowler Tyler
Oh
Huntley you're
my-
talking
that's
about.
like
Put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on his name. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. I do think the Seahawks will win.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Huntley somehow goes out there and like finds Tyreek Hill deep and then
I mean, you just got to throw it
Yeah,
down there,
right.
you know?
I mean,
the Seahawks were able to torch the Patriots.
So who are you
I'm choosing the Seahawks.
Okay. I'm choosing the Seahawks too. I think
But I wouldn't be surprised if it was
Tyler Huntley's not going to play good. Enough said.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a Seahawks team who just beat the Patriots, who Connor's high on. So
Drake May. Maybe I'll get some snaps.
He might if it goes downhill.
Right.
Or if they blow him out.
I'm gonna go Seahawks just solely based on the fact that Tua's out and they just signed Tyler Huntley. I don't think that someone can get prepared that fast in a
That's a
system.
big point.
Baker
too.
did.
Baker
when
did.
he got
They won
traded to
that
the
game.
Rams and they
Yeah,
won.
but Tyler Huntley is not Baker.
He could be.
Great. Now he's going to go off again.
Yep.
It's all about. I mean, yeah, not that Mike McDaniels can't, coach him up,
mhm.
but I'm going Seahawks.
Was that we all picked the Seahawks? Then?
Yep.
All right.
Potentially a good game here. Ravens, Cowboys.
Ooh.
At Cowboys.
That
I don't know. I feel like both teams haven't been looking too good.
No.
They're both coming off losses against
Man.
a team. We both picked them to win last week.
Yep.
We all picked both of them to win. This game could be either really good or really bad. I'm picking the Ravens.
Yeah, this game could honestly go with one team blowing out the other.
Yeah.
I feel like Lamar is more of a difference maker than Dak is.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Cowboys basically got ran all over by the Saints. I feel like the Ravens will finally be
Yeah.
let's give Derek the ball, let's give Lamar the ball. They're gonna run all
We're
over.
gonna start running that Lamar, Derrick Henry read option.
I think Ravens. Maybe a blowout, maybe close,
Mhm.
but Ravens.
I agree with everything you guys said. I'm going to go Ravens as well.
Nice.
Lions, Cardinals, another good one. These are all 325 games, too.
Hey, we'll watch them this time.
I'm going with the Cardinals. I think the Bucks kind of showed out against the Lions, especially with the receivers. Chris Godwin went off, and I believe Mike Evans did all right too. So I feel like, I think Kyler's going to be looking for Marvin a lot again, and I think that's going to be too much of a problem for the Lions.
It's hard because we don't know if the Cardinals are actually good or if they had that one good week. I know the COD bait has been closed, so that's clearly why Kyler's playing better.
Right. Yeah.
But
Kyler will be good until week 8, guys. Week 8's when the beta drops.
Yeah.
Or the game
that's
drops, I think.
great to know, actually. I have him in fantasy. Oh, I know. I literally said the Lions were going to win the Super Bowl, and I wanted to apologize because I don't think that anymore. But
Well, you picked it.
I
so-
know.
Yeah,
That's
you're locked
why
in, right?
I think I'm going to back the Lions here.
All right.
I feel like
It's not a bad pick.
it's not
This
a
game
bad
could
pick.
go either
because
It's not a
way.
bad pick either
the Lions
way.
should
Yeah.
win. I feel like maybe they get back on track with the offense, and the Cardinals'
Mhm.
defense can't handle
As
it.
long as they give the ball to Gibbs for touchdowns, I'm all right.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to go Cardinals here.
Oh,
No. You know what? Connor
Whoa.
had a quote here.
whoa!
Quote me on this. The Lions are on the downtrend. They're going to go through a few weeks of struggles here.
Okay.
And I think that they're going to be trying to figure it out. And I just think, besides the Bears having some struggles right now, I think that the Lions, I said it before the season started, obviously not on the pod, but I just think the Lions, they're not as good as everybody says they are.
Okay.
And I think they're going to start to struggle a little bit. I mean, let me see what their schedule's looking like.
Okay. Hey, NFC North right now, probably one of the more competitive divisions.
Yeah,
in football.
that's for
So
sure.
listen,
If not the most.
listen here. They got obviously the Cardinals, then the Seahawks, then the Cowboys, and then the Vikings. Those are pretty good teams right now in the league.
As long as the Vikings can keep it up, that'll be
Yeah.
interesting. If the Cowboys can get back to their
Just
end season form,
good.
usually
Yeah.
just good. Yeah.
Well, Yeah,
I think
so-
that'll be an interesting couple weeks for the Lions.
Yeah,
For
I'm going to
sure.
go Cardinals. 49ers at Rams. I personally think that the 49ers are going to bounce back.
Yeah.
Even without CMC, they got so many weapons, and I don't think
mean,
that the type of team that
the Rams are looking at a game without Puka and potentially without Cooper Cup too.
Which means our boy gotta.
Our boy Jordan Whittington gonna step
Yep.
up. But I think we all can agree. I think
49ers.
49ers, Chiefs, Falcons.
Chiefs.
Man, I just hate to keep picking the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Hey,
But I wouldn't be
keep
surprised.
picking the Chiefs. You picked the Bengals last week.
That's
Yeah, Burrowhead.
Come on, man.
This guy was all
You said they were
Burrowhead
walking
last
into
week.
Burrowhead and was gonna win. I'm the only one that picked the Chiefs.
I picked the
believe.
Chiefs.
I just don't like picking the Chiefs. That's the problem. That's my issue. I
I
don't.
know. I don't enjoy.
I don't want to be controversial here, but
Uh-oh.
Don't say it, bro. Just pick the Chiefs, bro.
I'm not picking the Chiefs.
Oh my.
Oh
Just
my
to
gosh,
be
bro.
different.
I'm going Falcons.
I said
That's
we got
out of
We
spite.
gotta back up what we did last week.
Out of spite,
Out of spite.
because
They haven't looked great though. The Chiefs.
let's be honest. Well, me
That's true a
personally,
little bit.
Taylor Swift is enough to make me not,
Wow.
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 choose the Chiefs.
That's a big fan base we could be turning away right now.
I mean, that's fine.
Hey, Taylor, all love to you if you want to come as a guest on our pod.
Yeah.
More than welcome.
You can sit right here.
Yeah, more than welcome. But
Right here.
Ah,
Well, are we on the same page?
me and you are on the same page.
We
We're
are
going with the
gonna
Chiefs.
do the same thing. We're gonna go Chiefs. The Falcons can play good, but the Chiefs will play better.
Yeah.
all right.
I just don't think the Falcons have a stop for Xavier Worthy and then Rashee Rice.
Just the Chiefs in general.
yeah,
and the rest.
I just don't think that's a
Okay.
Yeah.
Jaguars at Bills. Gotta go Bills.
Bills.
Come
yeah.
on now, Josh Allen.
Shout out my boy Josh Allen.
Bills. And that's the first.
Dayton Haley Seinfeld.
Bills
And that's the
too
first
loud.
of two games on Monday. So we got
Oh, yeah, I
a two
forgot
gamer
about
on Monday.
Two gamer.
We all got Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Commanders, Bengals.
I got
Gotta
something to
go Bengals.
say. I got something to say.
What?
How has Joe Burrow looked these weeks, past 2 weeks?
He didn't look good against the Patriots.
Did he look good against the Chiefs?
He looked all
He
right.
looked all right.
Not like prime Joe Burrow, but
Yeah.
you got to remember he's coming off a full
Right.
season. It's
But-
going to take him a little bit.
Is it? It's gonna take him a while, or is he never gonna get back to what he was?
Well, you know what? Let me just jump.
That's a little aggressive.
Let
I
me
should
just
say.
jump here and say that I'm taking the Commanders.
This guy loves Jaden Daniels.
I
guy-
do. I love Jaden Daniels. I think he's
Oh.
gonna show out against the Bengals.
I wasn't gonna go. I mean, the Bengals are having so many problems. Jamar Chase threw fits. I don't know what's going on there. Like I said, Joe.
Sorry, I'm picking.
No, you go ahead.
I'm picking the Commanders unless T. Higgins decides to play.
Oh,
That's your deciding factor.
Yeah.
If T. Higgins plays.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's just
what
a
to
bad
say to
take.
that.
That's
I don't,
a bad
I don't know
take.
what to
Okay.
say to that. Joe Burrow
Bad take until the Commanders win.
has not looked at. Yeah, they probably will.
It's a bad take until T. Higgins plays and then the Commanders win.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow has not looked the same yet. I think they got too much going on, but at the end of the day, it's the Commanders, so I'm choosing the Bengals. Hopefully, they figure it out this week.
Wow. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
And that was our last game. So now I think this is new also.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump into
Nice.
parlay of the week. So
We're
if you
making
guys
more money.
we're gonna throw these in too.
We
So
actually are.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna
um,
try to make you guys money as well as making us money.
Yeah.
You can throw this in with the spreads if you want, or just
Choose
throw this
one or
in with
the
us,
other.
or just ride with us if you
We're
want.
putting in money, though.
But
Yeah.
we're throwing in some props together.
So we
we'll-
all came up with our own our props.
Leg.
Yeah, our props that we think are locks
Mhm.
for this upcoming week. And we hope that you guys ride with us on these because we firmly believe that they're going to
Yeah.
win. But don't, we are not responsible.
Yes.
Yeah, do not hold us accountable
Good idea.
if it does not hit.
Like we need like a warning,
A
like
disclaimer.
yeah, like a
Something like
disclaimer,
that.
like
Also,
thrown in right here.
if
Yeah.
you have a gambling addiction, do not put this in. I'm sure. you
Call
can-
1-800-GAMBLING
Is that the number?
something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, or just look it up.
Yeah.
Or have a friend look it up and give it to you. Or
All right.
gamble more. No, I won't say that.
Yeah. No.
All right, Chris, lead us off with your
All right.
lock.
I went with my lock, Justin Fields anytime touchdown. Now they're playing the Chargers. Am I correct?
How dare you with that Caleb
I know.
Williams
I
jersey on.
still got love for him. Not a lot, but I still do. I feel like he ran the ball a lot last week. The Chargers defense is notorious for not being that great. I feel like there's a way where he can, maybe on a read option or design quarterback run, find the end zone.
He's always good at that.
He's always
well
running
with the Bears. I feel like that's a good pick.
He's always running.
My lock was, maybe a little biased, but I just think he's due. First 2 games, the first game he ran the ball pretty well. The field sucked. Second game he had basically a touchdown on the goal line and he fumbled it. And even if Jordan Love is back, I just think he is going to get the ball a lot. 32 carries last week. And I just think he's due for his first touchdown as a Packer, which is why I got Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown. Lock into that.
Right. I'm only laughing because I just saw your pick. Yeah, Josh Jacobs, I agree.
Oh, this guy's. Oh my God, bro!
I just saw this guy's.
I know exactly who this guy's gonna pick.
Yeah, we all know.
We're gonna jump into my pick here. Now this pick might be a little biased.
Might as well be
first.
Might as well be first.
Not because it's a Bears pick, but because I picked Jaden Daniels.
Oh my gosh!
And he scored 2 touchdowns against the Buccaneers. I think that he's gonna.
It's not a bad pick.
I think he's gonna.
Same
reason as Justin Fields.
But the Glaze is
he's gonna be running. Sorry for Glaze and Jaden Daniels. If you want to be a guest on our podcast,
right here.
We wouldn't mind.
Yeah, but I think that I just think it's a lock. I think he's gonna get one against the Bengals.
At least
okay.
one.
All right. So recap that: Justin Fields anytime touchdown, Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown, and Jaden Daniels anytime touchdown. Those are our locks for the week.
Get the 220 parlay.
Yep. We don't have the odds for that.
Yeah.
We don't have the odds for it. We should have put it in.
Yeah.
That's our bad. We will definitely have those next
week.
Next week, we'll say with the we're getting better every single week.
Might put my entire savings account.
Don't do that.
I want to do that.
Yeah, that's a gambling problem.
None of you guys do that.
I only said that because that was an example.
All right. Well, good episode, guys. That's all we had today.
Might be a bit of a longer one.
It might be a bit of a longer one. Next week, we'll kind of do the same exact thing. We'll run over some news. We'll talk about how we did in our flag football game on Thursday.
I'm playing this week.
We'll jump into how our predictions went. Talk about Camper Glazer Hater.
Talk about how much money we won.
We'll talk about the parlay, see if it hits. Talk about the spreads.
How good Bryce Hall did.
Yeah, how good Bryce Hall did.
And J.K. Dobbins.
If you guys have anything else, if you guys have anything you want to hear us talk about, let us know. We're always open to suggestions.
Yep. Comment. Or
if you're on YouTube, comment, like, and subscribe.
Yep,
if you're on Spotify, rate it 5 stars and follow the Spotify podcast.
And if you're our friends, just text us.
New episodes every Wednesday morning?
Yep, every Wednesday morning. Maybe subject to change.
Yeah.
Maybe earlier on Tuesday.
We'll see. Yeah. But for now, Wednesday mornings. We're gonna keep rolling with some of these different the different ideas we had this week with like the spreads and the parlays. So
keep it the same.
We'll see what works and what you guys like, and if you guys have any other suggestions, we're definitely open to hearing them. But thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching.
220 takes out.
Yep. All right.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Good up. I'm really nervous about the mic, but that was a pretty good episode.